Nah, no intro. Y'all know what this is, and if you haven't watched the first video, you are foul. Go watch it and come back. And if you have watched it, then let me shut up and let's get to it.
Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
So, entering Act 2, we're hit with a time skip of roughly 7 years, which means we're about to see some glow-ups, yes! The episode starts with our first two contenders, Jace and Heimerdinger, and they look the same. I mean, of course, Heimerdinger would look the same, he's hundreds of years old, but Jace? Just a measly cut, some aging in the face, and that's it. So, both of them have been working with Victor to improve Hex Tech for the last few years, and it has gone from being Threads to Twitter. As a matter of fact, it's gotten so big that Hex Tech now is the center of a holiday commonly known as Progress Day, where citizens from all of Runeterra come to Piltover to see what's next in line for an upgrade in imported goods. Jace is living his best life. Girls want him, boys want to be him, and the Kierman family supports him again, especially... Oh my god. Who is this magnificent stallion of a woman? That, my friend, is Caitlin Kierman. Yeah, we saw her in Act 1, but forget about that. That was a girl. This is a woman. A woman I would like to climb like a tree. During the day's festivities, some shipments are being made with Zon, but not in the way you might think. See, the Undercity is sporting their own imported goods in Shimmer, which is now one of the best-selling products in all of Undercity, all because of Silco and his loyal followers. This includes Savika, now sporting a scar from the aftermath of the monkey bomb. You know, even with that scar, it doesn't change that she aged like it. During her not-so-legal transactions, she and her men are attacked by the Firelights, a freedom-fighting group whose goal is to get rid of Shimmer in any capacity. And they would get away with it too if it wasn't for one meddling kid.
What was that?
Hi.
That's right, that's our Pow Pow! Our little baby grew up to destroy people! She really grew up in Silco's wig like a damn caterpillar breaking out of their cocoon, but instead of being a butterfly, she was like, nah, I'm a moth! After she was smacked by Vi, Powder turned into Jinx, a confident inventor and proud advocate for chaos. She's decided instead of going to therapy or getting meds for her developed schizophrenia, that the best way to kill her demons is by playing target practice with the Firelights in the name of Silco. Literally. So, the Jinx we see here in the show isn't much different from the one you see in the League of Legends games. They're both kinda loony and suffer from some mental illnesses, but all in all, they're the same. The only thing our Jinx is lacking is the iconic reddish-purple eyes, but she'll get there soon. She's younger, of course, but that might be preferred. I know I prefer it. Unfortunately, her crazy ass gets a Vietnam moment when she smacks the mask off a girl Firelight to find...
Vi?
Well, no, that's just bold. But she does think it is Vi, and because of this, the girl goes loco, kills the 99-cent store Vi, and screws up the whole operation. And Savika could make Jinx experience another Vietnam moment with her fist, but they're gonna have to put a pin in it and head home to the playground that is Zon. Zon looks pretty much the same, just around every corner I'm sure you can find crack. I mean Shimmer, being sold by the dozen. The only big change here is that the lovely last drop is now in the ownership of Silco, who's decided to crip walk on Vander's grave and turn it into a club. Speaking of Silco, Savika meets up to brief him into why the mission failed uptown.
Wasn't a mishap. She froze up and lost her shit. She's a problem and we all know it.
We? Who's we?
I think we have a common case of language barrier because this guy heard this and he has the audacity to say, well, maybe you just suck at your job. How the hell are you gonna tell her, a veteran, that she sucks at her job? I just know Silco is the kind of parent that always blames the teacher for the bullshit and never the child. No, not my Jinx. She's a perfect little girl. If you don't get your bitch ass... Silco goes on to hear Jinx's side of the story before comforting her and making it abundantly clear that what happened sucked. But she needs to get her shit together. So even after all these years, Silco still has this independent Zon dream on the brain, but he feels the only way he can really do that is by getting the one-up on Piltover. He feels the door to accomplish his goal is closing, but little does he know, his little talk actually opened a window in Jinx. So while all this is happening with Jinx and Zon, what the hell is happening in Piltover? Well, for starters, Wifey decided to leave her post during Progress Day and look into the crime scene made by Jinx. Because she uses common sense, she finds Locke, but before she can get some information, her boss and sheriff, Marcus, puts her in the timeout chair because her investigation made him sweat. Why? You'll find out later. Marcus hasn't changed much since Act 1. He's just got some white hair and a mustache. But not the gay mustache, the evil one. Because of Marcus's shitty leadership and the silver spoon she was born with from being Cassandra's daughter, Caitlyn finds it hard to fit in, especially when everyone for the most part ridicules her on the force because she's smart, hot, and gets shit done. It sucks, but just like Jinx, she's bound to get her big break. Actually, there's a lot of similarities you can make between Jinx and Caitlyn, and you'll see what I mean later. While Caitlyn is living that hard knock life, Jace is busy becoming Elon Musk, because that evening of Progress Day, he is summoned to make a speech and show off what's next on the docket for Hextech. Except he kinda can't because Heimerdinger stops him out of fear of his new lineup of inventions being dangerous. Which, yeah, they are. But come on, you old yordle! Sometimes progress comes with pain! His comments irritate not just Jace, but also his long-term closeted boyfriend, Victor, who is finding it hard to work nowadays due to his sickness getting worse. Victor's still a handsome man, just a bit on the pale and weak side, but he's still a sexy man regardless. Now, you expect Jace to be a good boyfriend and take care of his man, right? Listen to him when he suggests breaking from the mold again like they did years ago, right? Nope. This motherfucker just pushes him to the side and does his own thing. Though, granted, it's not entirely Jace's fault. He did ask if Victor wanted more of the limelight, but he said, nope, I like the shadows. Because of this, unfortunately, their connection finds itself tested with the presence of women like Sky and Mel, and more importantly, due to Jace being promoted from inventor to councilman. Why? Let's be honest, because Mel wants to fuck. Because of his scolding, Jinx decides that night she's gonna prove herself by going up to Piltover and pulling a heist right under their nose. Hey, Milo, Clacker, I'm not the only one getting deja vu here, right? In order for this to work, however, Jinx enacts the brilliant plan of setting a building on fire, tricking some guarding enforcers and blowing them to Kingdom Come. I would be proud of this, but she almost killed Caitlyn. She almost killed Caitlyn! Jinx! If you do that again, I'm gonna bust out in tears. With the mission accomplished, Jinx gets respect from Silco after he was bitching and moaning over some NPC deaths. Luckily, there was nothing he could do to disturb my girl's groove. Jinx did disturb Caitlyn's groove though, because my girl woke up sometime later back to investigating her to avenge her fallen brethren. Which she really shouldn't. They were clowning on her. Jace does try to stop her efforts by low-key firing her under the decree of her mother, but Caitlyn said fuck it, because she finds a connection to this criminal in the highly trained prison of Stillwater. And who might that connection be?
Who the hell are you?
Well, Episode 4 was a pretty chill episode. It works well as a setup for what's to come in Act 2 and gets us ready for the highs and lows of these characters. On my first viewing, I was just too busy being shocked by how much the characters had grown. Now, I still am shocked by how much these characters are different from the games and how the story unfolds the way it does in this act based on what occurs. I guess the only issue I can have here is that it is a bit on the slower side for a 4th episode, and arguably not much occurs. But the next episode makes up for it, especially with the re-emergence of Bubblegum here. So I'll give this episode a solid 7 out of 10 and a C+. In episode 5, we begin with a flashback focusing on baby Caitlyn locked into a shooting match seemingly with Grayson. Or is it a competition? She didn't win a trophy, so a competition? Whatever. What matters here is that my girl runs circles around Grayson, but gets pissed off because she feels the old sheriff let her win. So Grayson is quick to tell her that she deserved the win and to essentially shut the f up. No, she doesn't say that. She basically says that she's a good shot and she won fair and square. But she also told her instead of thinking about why she shoots, she should start thinking about who and what she shoots for. So in my Act 1 review, I said I did like this scene so much, and after watching it again, I still stand by what I said. It is a nice scene that gives us a bit more insight to Caitlyn's character and her thought process. It makes it implied that for her, maybe her mother babied her too much, and because of Cassandra's status, stuff came way too easy for her. Because of this, it makes her want to try so hard to show her worth on her own without shortcuts. Doesn't that sound like another blue-haired girl to you? The issue I have with this scene, however, is that I find it hard to connect with this interaction a bit, because our time with Grayson was cut short in Act 1 due to her death, and this is the last scene we see of her in the season entirely. I feel I'm supposed to, in some way, emotionally find myself interested in her, but it's hard when I have nothing to grasp upon except for the fact that she was sheriff. She made peace with Vander and had some moments with Caitlyn. Excuse me, but so what? It's a fine scene regardless, just not my favorite. Just know that flashback will mean something in the next episode. For now, in the present, Wifey is trying her best to cooperate with the new and improved Vi to get Silco behind bars and possibly apprehend Jinx. But she's an enforcer. And if we know one thing about Vi, is that she can't stand enforcers. So of course both of them get off on the wrong foot. But after Violet recognizes Powder's penmanship, and Caitlyn realizes she's probably her only chance to crack this case, by royal decree of Jace, Wifey frees Vi from Stillwater after 7 excruciating years of being locked up for no reason. So they start their travel together, right after a silent interaction that sparked... Do I have to talk about it? I don't want to. Let's put a pin in it. Let's put a pin in there. I don't want to talk about that. What we can talk about is this new Vi, though. So, if we're going off her looks and personality in League of Legends against the Arcane version, this one is the best design so far. I love how her large-ass face tattoo has been toned down to simply laying under her eye at the top of her cheek. And the piercings is a nice touch with her tattoo. She still has that attitude she did in the games and her classic punch first, talk later way of living, but I feel it's a bit toned down here. Even if she does some stuff in the future that just makes me want to facepalm. Especially when it comes to Caitlyn and Savika. For now, with sweet, sweet freedom, Vi decides to decline Caitlyn's suggestion of taking the train into the Undercity and instead hit us with some clean parkour action. With moves like these, she could make for a badass Spider-Woman. Maybe in another life. While she's making every lesbian watch round up and march their way to give her a happy ending, she left Wifey to struggle getting down by herself because she's not used to jumping all over the place. Come on, Vi! You could have at least helped her, you tease! Between her leaving her behind, making her get in some lovely clothes she stole, and eating a slob, Caitlyn is sick and tired of this hoe. But luckily, Vi is able to get them a lead in their investigation from Jericho to hit up the Vix. Or the brothel. That's right, we're heading to the brothel. Now, inside, Vi fits right at home, but Caitlyn, oh, this girl's like a precious wallflower. She's not used to such a expressive place. Her uneasiness and unwillingness to adapt to situations kind of annoys Vi. But luckily, ladies, our Butch has just a magic trick to help soothe our precious enforcer.
You're hot, Cupcake.
You guys hear that? That's the sound of panties dropping. If the games they shared back in Stillwater wasn't enough to make you take the hint, maybe this will make you see these two in a different light. Now, before anything spicy can happen for you horny viewers, Vi needs to get some intel from Babette on what's changed since she's been locked up, which proves to be a good move made on her end because she ends up getting the coordinates from her on someone who might know the whereabouts of Jinx, her #1 customer, Savika. Okay, real quick. What kind of workers do you think Savika requests? I feel like she gets some skinny women who are thick in the hips, thick in the waist, thick in the right motherfucking places. But I can also see her getting some feisty brats, if you know what I mean. Now, with her information given, Violet puts on her tunnel vision and goes to find Savika so she can beat the... Oh my god. Who's the woman with the Caitlyn's talking to? That's not important to Vi. What's important is that she finds out at this moment that Wifey swings for the other team. Another moment ripe for the taking for the... I'm not talking about it. I refuse to talk about it. I'm good. I'm good. Now, I bet you're wondering, where the hell is everyone else? Where's Jinx? Where's Piltover's Hardy Boys? Where's Silco? And where's Old Man Jenkins? One at a time, folks. One at a time. Back in Piltover, everyone finds themselves going from tolerating Jace to not standing the motherfucker. Hey! All because of the ego being a councilman is going straight to his head in the worst way possible. He's out here ordering Marcus around, turning him into his bitch, and making big moves from the inside. All while ignoring Victor, who... Vic, you okay? Oh no, this guy really got one foot in the grave and another on a banana peel. Jace doesn't give a shit though. He's going to operas and big events and getting friendly with Mel. Oh. Maybe, too friendly? Jace, what are you doing? You have a boyfriend! Jace! Jace, stop! Jace, stop! While Jace and Mel are having a pillow fight, Victor has been trying to follow the original vision him and his boyfriend had before he became a boy. His discoveries based on the spill he had while Marcus was framing the firelights for Silco's crimes causes him to create the Hex Core. If you guys know about this bad boy in League lore, then I think you know what's bound to go down. Victor's research takes a bit of a nosedive, and so does he, causing the man to end up passing out, but not before he hears some noises. Or maybe... voices? So while Vi is drooling over Wifey, Jinx has been taking a trip down memory lane to the arcade after a failed attempt to stabilize the gemstones she stole. However, while reminiscing on her time with the Subrats, Jinx can't help but fix the punching machine, and with her memories and emotions rushing in, she loses herself to a quick game. I might as well have been this machine because this scene hit me in my gut. I could feel the anger Jinx had against her sister, but also the guilt and sorrow and longing for her back into her life. She hates her, but she also still loves her, and that hurts. Anyone can resonate with her emotional state when we think about the one person who hurt us, and we should despise with every fiber of our bodies. But in the middle of the storm, we still have love for them, and more importantly, we still miss them. And though Jinx may see this as a weakness, it's not. It's human. And if she can't realize that through this game, then maybe she can realize that in Silco. Coming to her side, Silco takes Jinx to a secluded area, probably where Vander injured him decades ago, and he connects with her based on their mutual understanding of being hurt by the people they love the most. However, where Jinx feels her emotional trauma makes her incapable of moving on, Silco expresses that the trauma should make her stronger. That instead of wallowing in that pain, she should hone it and utilize it to become the best version of Jinx she can be. Her sister is gone and left a giant hole in her heart, but that doesn't mean Jinx has to succumb to the damage, because this damage should make her stronger. And Silco knows she's more than capable of being the best she can be, flaws and all, because
Jinx is perfect.
A lovely message from an unlikely and twisted source who signifies that change by baptizing our girl, by burying powder, and rebirthing Jinx once and for all.
Can you imagine what it's like when your blood mixes with the filth and the river toxins eat through your nerves?
With this newfound will burning within her, Jinx heads back to her hideout to finish stabilizing the gemstone, and she actually does it! Oh, she's so cute when she's happy like this. It makes me happy for her. Oh, man. With this progress made, Silco essentially takes one step forward, but little does he know, he's about to take a step back. While everyone's story reaches their turning point, Imagine Dragons leads us into the second half of the season with the amazing opening of the series, Enemy. And they even make a cameo on the episode too. What are they doing down in Zaun? Vi reaches a certain bar to find a certain Savika and confronts her by saying... What? Actual hey! Violet. Because of Vi's brash actions, Vi and Savika become interlocked in a brutal dogfight. During their scruffle, Vi proves worthy of Savika to show off what exactly is underneath that poncho. So she flashes her with the coolest augmented arm known to man. Well, maybe the second coolest arm next to Ed's arm. Whatever. And though Savika puts up quite the fight, Vi beats her?
Wait a damn minute.
You're gonna sit here and tell me Savika, a woman who has been fighting for way longer, who has probably fought by Vander's side and is wielding a shivered up augmented arm, is able to get her ass whooped by Vi, someone whose only method of training was a damn wall and some prisoners in Stillwater?
Yes.
That's bullshit. That's like some rookie being a heavyweight champion because they're the main. Oh, is that what's happening here? Plot armor? Oh, that's so weak. Especially when you look at the other fights Vi is bound to get into later. Either I'm missing something or...
Power levels are bullshit.
Even if Vi is able to wipe the floor with Savika, which I'm still calling bullshit on, while interrogating her, Vi gets a sweet stab to the torso and the haunting news that Jinx has a new dad in Silco. This information haunts Vi so much she's even willing to die on the spot. But Wifey comes to the rescue. Yes! Look at her go, making Savika run away like a little bitch. I love it! With that woman running like some startled weasel, Caitlyn helps Vi up and away from the scene, but not without them flirting a bit. Which is... cool, I guess. Kinda cute. But, ladies, wrong place, wrong time. Because of Vi getting punch hungry, Savika runs back to the last drop to relay to Silco the bad news.
She's back.
From the dead.
Episode 5 was a good episode in many ways. The storyline with Jinx was absolutely phenomenal back then, and it still is now. The moments that transpired in this episode made me more interested in seeing how Jinx's story proceeds, and wondering if Vi will indeed reunite with her baby sister. Of course, the plot with the Hardy Boys was pretty good, but I don't know, it was weaker compared to everything else happening. Luckily, the events with Victor still made me more than invested in Piltover's events. My only biggest issue with the episode, and bear with me here, it's a little too horny. Like, sex doesn't bother me, not in the slightest, but damn was the sexual tension in this episode kind of too much. Now, am I going to talk when I literally made a bunch of sex jokes earlier? Nah, and I know how much of a hypocrite I am, I'll own up to it. But I feel if maybe they cut out the sex scene with Mel and Jace, I would have been a happier camper. Outside of these flaws with the exciting storytelling and Zahn, I feel I could give this episode a light 8 out of 10 and a B. Everyone, I'm so sorry for what's about to happen next. But I'm gonna say it right now. If episode 8 didn't exist, episode 6 would easily be considered my least favorite episode in the whole series. Is that negative?
Yes.
Do I want it to be?
No.
Just know that this is coming from a place of love, even if it sounds like I want to punch a hole in the wall. This episode starts with another flashback, but this time we're seeing baby Victor, and look at him! He's so adorable! Look at him trying to show off his toy to Sky, and... Oh, well, fuck you, bitch. We'll keep our toys to ourselves. While playing alone, Victor tries to keep up with his toy boat, but ends up losing it in a cave where he retrieves it. However, during his retrieval, he ends up meeting a younger Singe and Rio in her prime. The both of them bond over being misunderstood geniuses, and after Victor volunteers to help him, Singe has him assist in saving Rio, who is slowly dying. Cute, right? Yeah, no. Victor one day finds Singe has taken a page out of Frankenstein's book and corrupted Rio so badly she's now in constant pain. Why? I don't know, for progress or science or something? Singe has always been the weird guy playing God, so I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks Sho Tucker is Jesus or something. Good thing Victor realizes how fucked up this is and escapes before this guy could turn him into a dog or whatever. Ironically enough, now Victor is slowly dying and in need of assistance, and he comes to realize this after a heart-to-heart with Heimerdinger, who low-key reminds him of how much being a Yordle is better than being a human. Jokes aside, he does comfort Victor in his time of need. Might as well, since his boyfriend is nowhere to be found. Where the hell is Jace anyway? Oh, he's busy with his side chick Mel talking about Victor's condition? Oh, so he does care! He thinks it has to do with toxic gas from the Fishers area in the lanes, which, if you don't know what that is, it's actually called the Grey. It's a toxic gas in the League of Legends lore that's within Zahn, and though the city has tried its best to rid the toxins after the legends of Janna, the goddess of wind, came down to clean it, there's been no avail. The Grey can be seen in all of Zahn, which is why the Enforcers wear their mask, but where it's at its most poignant is in the Fishers area, which we can conclude in this scene with Jace thinking that it's the source. If that did already make me ease up on him, then the fact that he knew Victor lived there definitely put a smile on my face. Anyways, yeah, the more you know.
He's like my brother.
Why did you come?
Actually, yeah, no, f this guy, f this guy, f this guy. All you gotta know is that Mel finally gives us a taste of her past by informing us that she was banished to Noxus. Why? Unfortunately, you gotta wait for Act 3 to find out. After one of the sickest transitions in the series, Victor is found back in the lab getting maybe a little too obsessed with the Hex Core. The obsession isn't all too bad though, because through it, Victor is able to find out that organic life forms have a response to the Hex Core, growing and getting stronger with the mutation. Unfortunately, even with the charges, it's not enough to really maintain life. If Victor and Jace's shared disappointment wasn't enough, well, Heimerdinger would be the nail in the coffin, because like with their other projects, he shuts that hoe down quicker than a shitty illegal gambling site. The Hardy boys will remember that, by the way. And boy does Jace remember, because after bitching to Marcus about the firelights, the council is routed up for a ruling of the Hex Core being destroyed or not. And this power-hungry idiot has the audacity to pay all of Piltover's faults on Heimerdinger's back, getting him kicked out of the council. The way I wanted to get up and turn Jace into my personal punching bag. The force was strong with me, people. How the hell can you blame Heimerdinger for everything? The council is a unit, not some damn dictatorship. You guys want to do something to get off your asses. And clearly, they all don't agree with Jace either because of how scared they were before voting. What, is his Johnson so good that it can sway the council into losing their marbles? You know what? Yeah, Heimerdinger does some questionable things and says some logically sound but rude things sometimes. But at least he's doing more work trying to keep peace than any of you. So Heimerdinger, maybe you should leave. Leave and go fix Zahn. You know, something these assholes should be doing instead of playing Duck Duck Goose with a girl and her psychotic father. If not for the council, then definitely for your sake, because I feel like these guys are gonna kill you with a damn migraine. Screw you guys, all of you. Please tell me something better is happening in Zahn. Oh, Victor's down there, and he's getting help from Singed? Just take me to my favorite child already. While Piltover is busy losing their minds, Jinx finds out after terrorizing the best character in the show that Vi is alive and running around with Caitlyn through Savika, who... God damn, she cannot catch a break, can she? No wonder she's always smoking. Screw cigarettes, this bitch needs a hard drink of vodka when all this is over. With this information, she leaves Silco a little message, pushing her back into the mental spiral he thought he fixed. But nope, she's still schizophrenic, and it's bound to get worse. Or maybe better. It all depends on Vi and Caitlyn, who are on the run from Silco's goons that pushed them to fall into the lower and darker section of Zahn, after they come across a neon sign. One that is all too familiar to Violet, apparently. Wifey tries her best to take care of her while the blood loss is making her hallucinate, but Vi becomes a hard ass to it? I'm sorry, but weren't you just flirting and teasing with her literally minutes ago? What, you trying to play hard to get? You think that's gonna win you brownie points? Quit being stupid, Violet, and stop being rude to my wife. Caitlyn decides to actually be productive and go on a mission to find something to help the ungrateful ass, and on her journey, she meets... Hey, it's Huck! You guys remember him from Act 1's homework, right? It's nice to see you again, pal. Oh, damn. Nice haircut? Jokes aside, Huck remembers our little firecracker and decides to help Caitlyn out by sending her to a dealer nearby so she could get a potion that's like a potion with some shimmer in it. Does Huck know about this? Or is that the tragedy of the scene? The dealer wants a trade because apparently money is above her, and without hesitation, Wifey sacrifices her gun for the potion. Hold on. Caitlyn Kierman, the best gunslinger in all of Piltover and arguably Runeterra, trades in her gun for a potion? I mean, yeah, it is very selfless and sweet of her to do for Vi, but it's her gun. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to talk about something I put in my back pocket from the previous video. So, remember when I said that there was one character that compared to their League of Legends counterpart I thought was weaker or even on par with them? Yeah, it's Caitlyn. Don't take this the wrong way. I love Caitlyn, I always will. In Arcane, her compassion is definitely on display, and the transformation from a woman who complains about being babied by society to someone actually doing something about it is phenomenal. I might defend my girl to the hells, but when you love something and someone, you know you can't ignore their flaws. Let's get this out of the way. Compared to her League of Legends look, this version of Kate is her own kind of beautiful and hot. Even if I do controversially miss the top hat. Personality-wise, she stands on her own and her voice makes me swoon every time. But the issue here is that halfway into the season, it seems the writers take away one of her key traits. Her gunslinging skills. Yes, she does get her hand on a gun in Act 3 for like 40 seconds. But the lack of seeing her capabilities with a gun is pretty underwhelming. I was expecting to see her show off her shooting in more than just a flashback or in a single scene where she plays the hero for Violet. So when I saw her give up her gun, I was kind of pissed off. It's a sweet gesture, don't get me wrong, but it makes Caitlyn basically become useless and someone who is downgraded to Violet's damsel in distress. Is that harsh? Maybe. But for me, that's how it comes off. Yes, she does have her silver tongue, but it's not enough. Because of this in future scenes, I nearly banged my head on the wall screaming for her to get a new gun or wondering why she didn't trade something else for the potion. Forget it, let's just move on before I have a headache. Caitlyn reunites with Vi and gives her the shimmer, and after a not so straight stare down, Kate realizes that where they've been stationed was Vi's childhood home. Caitlyn tries to ask questions and give more insight to Violet, but of course, she takes her questions as ridicule and barks out at her about how the Enforcers have ruined her life. Oh my god, can someone please come knock some sense into Vi or something? Oh hey Silco, I see you brought some friends. How you doing, Liquor? Ran? What you got there, buddy? Oh, Huck, you son of a... Silco finds Vi in the land down under and basically reins in that he's got Jinx all to himself. Of course, this pisses Vi off. She would fight this guy, but 2 tired girls versus 3 criminals and 2 beefed up shimmer addicts? Yeah, no, they'll take their chances.
No, I am gonna leave.
During their retrieval, the ladies leave Silco to his little tantrum and continue on their search for Jinx. A search that's about to end. See, while Silco and Vi had a dick swinging contest, Jinx realized that if Vi is really a Zod running around with the baddest girl in the game, that she'll keep her promise. Right? In a gut-wrenching scene, Jinx lights up the flare Vi left to her when they were younger, and without any delay, Vi makes her move to her sister. All while Wood Kid's Guns for Hire guides us through the cry for help from not just a traumatized Jinx, but from Milo, Clagger, and her inner Powder. The mixture of the score with the scenes playing out and the lead up to the one moment we've been waiting for is amazingly bittersweet. But it's not the best part.
Powder? Oh, Powder!
This was the best part. This heartfelt reunion. Through a tight hug from Violet that rids Jinx and brings back Powder for a moment. Sisters, together again. Broken, but not beyond repaired. Once lost, but now found in one another. For like a minute until Caitlyn shows up. God damn it. Vi tries her best to play mediator, which good luck with that. But there's no point. Jinx comes rearing her ugly head back up and shows herself in all of her schizophrenic, trigger-happy glory. And if that wasn't bad enough, guess who comes into town? The Firelights with their leader, too! Oh, joy! The ladies get into a fight with these rude eavesdroppers, leading to some of the coolest moves from Jinx I've ever seen since episode 4. Oh, and Vi does well too, I guess, even if she's just fighting like one guy. You know who's not putting in work, though? Wifey. Because she's too busy trying to get this damn gemstone, which she does, and damn it, Caitlyn! This wouldn't have happened if you just kept your damn gun! That wasn't embarrassing enough. Vi takes her eye off the ball to see Powder in a shooting frenzy and gets knocked down by a firelight. Oh man, I get she's injured, but at this rate, I'm wondering, is she really a good fighter? Jinx puts in some work and takes the firelights on like a champ, but before she can finish the job, she finds Vi and Caitlyn snatched away from her, and as the smoke clears, just like before, she's alone. Again.
Vi?
Episode 6 was a doozy watching again. Outside of Jinx and Victor, I don't think there was a single character here that did piss me off this time around. with everyone's issues mainly being because of miscommunication and incompetence, if not Silco, it makes me wonder if everyone is in a desperate need of a conversation class or something. I feel Jace was at his worst in this episode, and the moments between Vi and Caitlyn, though cute, just made it hard for me to ship K-Vi. Aw, shit. Can we just delegate that to Act 3, please? I'd rather get killed for that comment at the end of my journey. I will say though, even if the first half of the episode had me seeing red, the second half was really damn good, with Jinx and Vi's reunion and the Firelights battle putting everything up in a chaotic bow. Like I said, this for me was on the weaker side, but that last half definitely came in a clutch. I want to give it an 8, but no, I'll give this episode a strong 7 out of 10, a C+. So, seeing the scores and hearing the rants, I wouldn't blame you if you concluded that this act was a slight drop in quality. But let it be known, even though Act 1 compared to Act 2 is a bit stronger, I still have to say Act 2 is my favorite portion of Season 1. The characters are all flawed years later, but something tells me that's just part of their arcs as characters that will grow closer to their counterparts in League. That doesn't excuse some storytelling issues, but it does help me to understand why some characters make some decisions and make me more invested in them. 2 years ago, on other rewatches, I would have episode 4 and 5 on loop, only watching episode 6 because it wouldn't feel right to leave it out. I don't think I'll watch it much now, but I still get why I did what I did 2 years ago. This act was jam-packed with amazing shots, excellent usage of dialogue, and even if I feel there wasn't much in the musical department, the pieces that do play are probably the best singles to come out of this show. The development of the characters and the masterful cliffhangers left me wanting more, and I would get more in Act 3, just not in the way I expected. If you really enjoyed this video, then please leave a like or give me a comment in the comments below. And if you really enjoyed my last 2 videos and my shorts, then hey, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Until then though, I hope you guys all have a good day, you stay safe, and stay hydrated. I love you all.